your thought or your intention should match. And not only that, your intention, your speech, and your action should also match. Otherwise, it is called hypocrisy. You become hypocritical if those things does not match with each other. For example, like what you think, if you speak something else other than that, and what you speak if you do not execute that, if you do not implement that, then for instance, I keep saying, like in my society nowadays, like almost everybody not speaking what they thinking like, and speaking that thing which they don't do, which like it's like common tradition nowadays to show you some expectation. Oh, I will give you this, I will give you that, I am giving you opportunity. But the people who are saying this nowadays are mostly those people who want some opportunity from us. For instance, even to people who I want to give something, I do not want to say in first. I don't want to show expectation. Unless it's like pretty much sure. Like, if I need to give help, like small help to someone, if that person wants it, then I can tell him or her. Because it's small, so I can easily give it. But if I need to talk about the half of my possession to give to someone, or I'm giving my half of my property to you, it's a difficult thing. For that person, it's, oh wow, it sounds good. You are giving me half of your property, it's very good. But it's a difficult thing. So that's the hypocritical thing nowadays, like people show expectation to others and actually they are expecting some opportunity from that person. They want to take something away. And another thing is not valuing your words. That means you don't have self-respect. People saying, okay, I will do this for you. Let's meet this time at this place. So this is also common thing in the society. And with me nowadays in Nepal, like almost every time is not what they speak. They say, okay, let's do this time, let's meet. I will do this, I will do that. Like there are so many business and services which I need to pay for that service. So I pay that money. Okay, for this service I need 1,000. Okay, I'll pay 1,000. So when I will completely get the service, and that person says 5 days or 2 days. So most of the time, what is happening in Nepal for me is like people who are saying 2 months, 2 days. Are not providing me that thing even in 2 months. 5 days means 5 months.
It's in Nepal, no?
I think it's Nepal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nowadays, like even Westerners.
Some people are like that.
I'm not talking about Westerners. Westerners who have come here, they are able to understand that when Nepali guy says, I will come here in 2 p.m., that means that person will come in at least 4 p.m. No 2 p.m. So even Nepali people themselves or ourselves call it Nepali time. Nepali time means plus 2 hours or something. And even that does not happen. There are so many meetings of organizations and so many things. So unless it's too much beneficial for them with regarding money or there is like big party, then most of the people do not attend those meetings. So I think like people who do not value their words I think we should, as a human, as a respected human being, we should always implement our words. What we speak, we should definitely try to fulfill it. And I think I try not to speak what I will try to help or do for other people, but what I have already spoken is I definitely try to do best. For example, this teaching also, like this is like my word. So when people are coming, either 100 are coming or 1 people coming, so I will try my best to be helping with this service. And I think like your life will also become very good or happy when you always fulfill your words and people are able to trust you. Nowadays what also I see is people try to impress others in their first interaction. But people have lots of like friends and brothers nowadays who don't know about gaining the trust, developing the trust in themselves. So if whatever I spoke to you, if I always implement that things, then you will trust in me, don't you?
Yeah.
And if I always like, okay, let's do this, and I don't appear. Another time I again say, okay, let's do this, again I like betray you. So if I betray you 3 times, will you trust me?
Maybe 3 times. 1 time you can.
Even 1 time is enough to lose the trust, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
So I think like for ultimate success, like to have happiness and comfort in your whole life, you should always have trust, believe that trust for yourself from the people. Mm-hmm. And that's how like whatever is politician, businessman, everybody needs to build this trust. Like business also, if the company or the businessman does not build the trust, his business will get spoiled. For politicians also, like it's working in different way in Nepal, but how it works is by the trust of people. People trust one politician, that means that politician will have opportunity to serve people, to serve the society. So that's why like in many regards, like, we should always be truthful to our words, to our actions. And another thing is to remain happy, we should always maintain or have balance between our mind, speech and body. If we are speaking what we are thinking, and if we are doing what we are speaking, then we are able to remain happy always. But many immoral people do not understand this thing. So everybody of us need to understand this. Why people are not happy today? Because there is this commercial struggle nowadays for everybody. And due to this commercial struggle, people try to lie. People try to betray. They also feel like there's no option than betraying and stealing or doing corruption things. But to have the happiness in your life, you should only try to not become hypocritical. Always maintain the friendship between mind, speech and body. So if your mind is heading towards the east, your body is heading towards the west, your speech is heading towards the south, that means people are able to see your character. And then if you do not have good personality, good character, which is built from inner ethics, then even good personality, some people have this good personality, good presentation qualities, skills, which they have developed by learning from some YouTube or some books or some great people. But they are only kind of pretending or acting with good personality. That thing only impresses for a while. But if it's coming from your precepts, your inner self-discipline, your peaceful mind, then people will have this good relation with you always. They will not go away from you. They will not try to go away from you. So these are so many reasons to not to lie. Also, like not to contradict with like your speech, the term called contradiction between your speech, body and mind. And that's the number 4 regarding speech. And the 4th one is toxication. Some also speak about alcohol, but it's totally about toxication. Like eating or drinking or consuming toxic materials. And instead of saying consuming toxic materials, I think you should say like toxicating yourself. Maybe this term might not be correct, toxicating, but maybe anybody can understand when I'm saying toxicating. So, because like some people feel that alcohol is good, but smoking is bad. Some people feel smoking is good, alcohol is bad. So, like smoking and drugs, like most of them will, I think, they bring this addiction thing to you, which kind of bring pleasure also, but brings addiction. And that's the difficult part, the wrong part. Another thing is, like some people seem to be enjoying one unique kind of pleasure from some drugs or some smoke, and then after that, the rest in their life, they turn into zombies. Their consciousness, their perception, everything becomes like very low, very small, very poor. And I used to go into rehabilitation center to teach to addict people for drugs and alcohol. And most of the people are unable to listen to my teachings. And even from the people who are able to listen to the teachings, most of them are unable to concentrate. So that's zombie. And also there's a thing called alcohol. So alcohol, wine, these things, like for many people it works like medicine also, if it's taken in a very small quantity, even in a limited quantity. But in my society it is used for getting crazy, becoming violent, and shouting at people, fighting with people, creating chaos. So all of these things happens from too much alcohol. So also regarding this, I also want to mention that one of the advice from Buddha, or the answer from Buddha on one question, that what is poison. So you might have heard also that in the answer of what is the poison, Buddha replied that anything beyond limit, what you consume is a poison. So when you consume beyond the limit, the food you are eating, the breakfast, the lunch, the dinner, the salt, the sugar, the oil, the ghee, the butter, everything is poison. Because if you, like only in the hospitals in Nepal, people who come into hospital with disease, people who die with disease, are mostly those people who are dying or becoming sick, not from the drugs and alcohol, but more from the food. So what is it proving? It is proving that Food is becoming more poison than drug and alcohol. So, like sugar, too much sugar means sugar and diabetes, too much salt means blood pressure, too much oil and too much butter means cholesterol and triglycerides, so many problems. Too much protein also problem. Too much water is also problem. The best thing is water, and too much water is also problem. So
Balance.
yeah, everything should be in balance.
Equanimity.
Equanimity, yeah.
This is something else.
Is used in philosophical terms anyway. So main thing is like losing your consciousness is the biggest problem, or the main thing concerned or considered when we are talking about the fifth precept. Like when you intoxicate yourself with alcohol or any some kind of drugs, then in that situation, like you are probable to do any kind of wrong actions. The previous four also, because you don't have consciousness. Like people who are consuming the alcohol and become crazy, I see like they are unable to recognize their own friends also, their enemies also. When they meet their own friend after having lots of alcohol, they want to fight with these friends. They want to say some bad words at least to these friends. And when they are meeting these enemies, they feel like some old friend and they reveal all their secrets to enemy. And after that, like next day, next month, enemy can bring problems to you because you have revealed all your secrets. So that's why you should not never toxicate yourself as a normal person. And as a practitioner also, because you need to preserve your precepts. So if you toxicate yourself, you are unable to preserve any precepts. You might think of stealing. Your whole life you might not have stolen, but if you have too much alcohol and your mind becomes crazy, then you can probably steal, you can probably kill some animal or somebody, and you can have the misconduct thing, and you can definitely lie. So that's the problem. So it's difficult to preserve any kind of precept when you are intoxicated with alcohol or something. So here also need to clarify that alcohol also like it's not bad that until it's too much consumed. And in Sanskrit and in Dharma terms is also named as Amrit, which means nectar. So nectar is not supposed to be a bad thing, it's supposed to be a good thing. But if you consume too much, it's poison. But alcohol itself is not taken as poison directly. So that's the only thing I need to clarify. So those were the precepts. Now to go briefly with the three jewels and the... okay. Apart from that also we have like some extra precepts. So that was the basic precepts which is common for basic Buddhists, beginners and other normal people also, non-Buddhists also. And apart from that, we call them 10 unwholesome actions. So 10 unwholesome actions consist, the first four of the 10 unwholesome action is same with this one. Apart from intoxication is like non-violence, stealing, misconduct, and speaking lie. So the physical part has already came in the 10 unwholesome actions, but the fourth one, there is 4 another 4 speech precepts. So the number 1 is the 4th one, this lying, telling lie. And then I have already mentioned in the previous class, criticizing others, harmful words, speaking harmful or which might hurt others. And then last one is idle gossip. So these 3 and these 4, body precepts 3, speech precepts 4, that is 7, and there is 3 mind precepts. And 3 mind precepts are, number 1 is the covetousness of having greedy eyes on others' possessions, and also being covetousness with your own possession, not wanting to help others, not sharing with others also maybe. Also like intention to hurt others, that's number 9. And also like before going to the 10th, I remember one thing to tell about with the telling lies. So this is also important because the world is full of lies nowadays. Politician, business, everything is like even regarding the service and business sector is like advertisement everywhere, fake advertisement. You promise too much thing like, oh, this product is like this good, but like everything they want to lie. Who is lying is winning nowadays in materialistic meaning, but anyway, so the lies are everywhere existent, but what I'm trying to say is to distinguish between white lies and black lies or dark lies. So white lies is what we might need to speak sometimes, and black lies, dark lies is we should not speak at all. And again, these 2 things I'm trying to differentiate between the intention. If your intention is good, you might need to speak lies sometime to benefit many people. You might need to lie to save someone's life also, to benefit everybody around. But black lie is which hurts everybody, which harms everybody, or at least if it harms one being, one person, then also it is black lie. So we're going to the 10th precept of or 10 unwholesome actions, and the 10th unwholesome action is having wrong view, generally wrong view, as we had the right view already in Eightfold Path. So wrong view is normally opposite to that, and also having wrong view is related with the next teaching we are going, that is the triple jewel and the refuse taking. So the triple jewel are the object of refuse. Like they are not God, but they are like God. Like where you have your faith into, where you have your trust into. And then if you have wrong views on the triple jewels also, 3 jewels also, and that is also considered of one of the biggest wrong views in traditional Buddhism. So I think I don't need to mention too much about that. If I clarify about the 3 jewels, then you will understand why you shouldn't have wrong views on them. And to start with, the importance of the 3 jewels is that without 3 jewels, there is no possibility of survival for the Dharma. So Dharma needs to survive. If people need to liberate themselves, Dharma needs to survive. Otherwise, there is no point of Buddha getting enlightened. He got enlightened to liberate other beings, to show us the path. So if there is no vision of path for people, if there is no scene or appearance of path, then they don't know where to follow, where to go. So people, it's their choice whether they want to go or not. but at least they should have option to go into the true path of happiness. So it's very unethical, or generally we can say bad, to criticize the dharma itself. Although there are so many people criticizing dharma, there are so many people criticizing Buddha himself also. And even more than dharma and Buddha, nowadays so many people are criticizing the Sangha, the teachers, the monks, the nuns generally. So criticizing them is kind of destroying them, because you are making a bad name of them. When you are making bad name of them, then it makes them difficult to survive. That means the future of your future generation, your grandson and granddaughters will have no option to practice dharma. So that's why should not have wrong view on the three jewels. So to go on the three jewels, we start with Buddha, but the importance we should realize is about dharma. So dharma is the core, the teaching of truth is the core of triple jewel. As Buddha has said that dharma is a medicine. Dharma is like medicine, and your suffering is like your disease, your sickness. So, and I am like a doctor. So what doctor does is diagnoses the problems. He has already diagnosed our common problem. But and he also has prescribed the medicine for that. But we as a patient, if we as a sick person, if we do not take the medicines as prescribed by the Buddha, then we are unable to cure ourselves. So then, like, worshipping or prostrating to Buddha only will not help you if you do not practice the dharma. So that's why like Buddha has told that he is like a doctor, so only visiting the doctor will not solve your problem, not cure your illness. So that is the general. And also when we are talking about the Buddha, we also need to know what kind of person or being is Buddha. Because it's our goal, it's target. Buddha is not just our object of refuge, but he is an example. And we should understand our example,